But yeah, let's talk about the Wolves game. I was there. Timberwolves versus Clippers. It was booming. That's the loudest I've heard it since I was there for our most recent playoff win against the Rockets. This was super fun.
Sounded louder, honestly, when I was watching the game, like, and hearing everyone. I'm like, it sounded like a more vibrant situation. Like, I went to one where we lost in the Rockets playoffs game, and like we were loud, but like this one felt like, oh shit, like these are fans.
Well, we were like, we wanted to get them out of there, and every time like Pat Bev, he goes to the sidelines, he'd be hyping up the crowd. You see D'Lo do similar stuff. Like, they're entertainers, and they try to get the crowd involved. And these Timberwolves fans, they've been waiting a long time to be cheering about some success. So it was a hell of a fun time. It was a close game like the whole time too.
Yeah.
So, and it was like, it was pretty easy to get wound up early on because there was some really questionable calls right away. Yeah. And then there was also just some instances where you could tell like Pat Bev was trying to start shit, or Marcus Morris would try to start shit. And it was just like, they just kept having to blow the whistle. It just felt like it was going on and on for a while.
Yeah. I mean, Pat Bev showed, did you watch him on JJ Redick's podcast? It's a really good one. Yeah, he talks about how he thinks he's like the best defensive player in the league.
Yeah, I obviously don't think defense player of the year.
However, what he said is right. He's like,
his logic was good.
Culture. Yeah. Like, I'm like, you're not wrong. You're just not the defensive player of the year. But what his effect was great. But one thing I hated, I watched all these
best trade in Wolves history.
Yeah. Well, so everyone talked about, they just kind of complained about Cat, like all the major ESPN Sports Center. They're just like, oh yeah, Cat let them down. But they did say it gave D'Lo his, and I was like, I'm not surprised. D'Lo in the playoffs is great. When he was with the Nets, he was the reason why they pushed the Nets to 6 games. Him alone.
Yeah, he was clutch as hell, man. I mean, he was nailing some tough mid-range shots, and he hit that one pull-up three that put us ahead, that basically buried the Clippers. It was like, oh man, that was so cold.
that was, and then he did the ice in his veins. That was perfect. But no one's talking about, like, none of the critics or like the analytics people have been talking about. Like, Anthony Edwards was fucking great. Like, he's 20 years old and he's going out, and he did not look uncomfortable at all. This man, he wanted it. Like, they gave that one step back against Paul George, and I was like, all right, that's it. Like, that's like a defining career moment for him. His first playoff game, and he buries that three. It was right after Batum hit that corner three, and they took that three back by him hitting that step back in the last 2-3 minutes of the game. It was awesome. I was like, Anthony Edwards is bona fide superstar. That's it. Like, he's gonna be great.
Yeah, no, he was much better than his usual self tonight, because he was actually making the right choices. When he would normally do a step back three in isolation, he was faking guys out, and he was driving to the rim and getting some good shots. So he was efficient, and like, he was keeping us alive. And yeah, he had that one dunk that really energized things even some more. And him and Pat Beverley are such a great connection, because their energy bounces off each other. And awesome. It keeps everyone aggressive when you see that going, when you see your best young player being as aggressive as he is.
Yeah. And shout out to Naz Reid, honestly. He came in like most of the second half, and he was able to hold it down. Him and Jared Vanderbilt both played minutes at the center with Cat out, and they did a fantastic job.
No, that's true. Yeah. It was awesome to see those guys step up, because like Cat barely played.
Yeah. No, yeah. And they did a great job. And I think that was awesome. I will say,
Naz hit a couple shots.
I don't think they're going to get blown out. I still think the Timberwolves have the best chance out of all the play-in teams to beat the Grizzlies, because of all the talent they've had. And they've showed, they're like, hey, we have a big three. Like, there's 3 of us. And even Malik Beasley hit a shot. So they certainly have the tools to beat the Grizzlies.
He's the X factor. I mean, I wanted to face the Grizzlies rather than the Suns or the Warriors. That's for sure. So I'm glad that that's who we ended up getting. We won the season series against these guys. They are beatable. Like, obviously they're really good, but the Wolves are pretty good too.
Yeah, they
you
30
know,
and 15 in the last 40 games.
yeah, put it in a vacuum. You have no idea what can happen.
Oh yeah, and I will say I think Cat is going to have so much struggles with the Grizzlies with Jaren Jackson and Steven Adams. He struggled against Zubac, whatever, but I think
I don't expect it to hold up for a whole series that he's going to struggle. I mean, he's going to have to figure out the fouling thing. That's where the real problem is, because he doesn't get into a rhythm when he's doing that shit.
Granted, Steven Adams isn't that much of a offensive. He doesn't draw that many offensive fouls. Neither does Jaren Jackson. They're pretty straight, tough
so
guys.
Johns might be able to stay into the game longer.
Yeah, he does have issues with very physical players like that. So we'll see if he overcomes it into the playoffs. That's the biggest thing. I think Anthony Edwards will be a massive factor, and I think that Pat Bev is just licking his chops. He's ready to, because he's going to defend Ja. And the Wolves have done amazingly. Out of all their series, they've held Ja to 20 points. That doesn't sound amazing, but the way Ja plays, in all 4 games, they held him. His average is 20 points, and I think that is the biggest factor that everyone's sleeping on. Like, if you can stop Ja, the rest of the Grizzlies are great, but you're asking all of them to beat you in a playoff setting, and a lot of times, like, this is Desmond Bane's, like, it's not his first playoff series, but we'll see. This is first in the role he has. Jaren Jackson's been injured. We'll see how they do. It's a very young team, certainly beatable.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, this Grizzlies team is improving. You know, sure they had a great regular season, but other than this, they've made the playoffs like once in the last few years. With
last year,
obviously their new nucleus. Yeah, last year they did it by beating the Warriors to get into the playoffs. But I think it's as close of a series as any of them are going to be.
Yeah, I say at least 6 games, but I think if it goes to 7 games, I really couldn't tell you who's going to win.
Yeah, it'll be a fun series. We'll see. Wolves got to try to steal one on the road here. First game is Saturday, so we'll see how it goes.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, we're going to throw a wrap on this one. That is strictly ball business. If you're still listening, subscribe down below. We appreciate any listeners, and we just love talking basketball, baby. It's the best sport in the world.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like and subscribe. Right. Help us out.
Yeah, help us out. We'll see you guys next time.
Hey guys, be sure to like and subscribe us. We're strictly ball business. We strictly talk NBA. We love it. You love it. So let's get above it.